Hello and welcome to the second game of the series. We are watching Empire taking on Na'Vi, and this is StarLadder Season 7 Star Series LAN Finals live from Kiev, or at least the teams are. We are not, and with we I mean myself, Shiva, and of course my co-caster, Vickermond, and we are gonna see Empire given the chance to pick up, what do you know, Elder Titan, the 100% win rate hero for Scandal, who's now played it 11 times successfully.
Right. He's a very strong Bat Rider as well. I don't honestly really have a problem with Na'Vi banning Bat Rider here and letting the Titan. I think that's an okay choice. But nonetheless, yeah, it's the Elder Titan again. Maybe Na'Vi feel that they sort of scouted Empire's use of this hero and can adapt to it better. It wasn't honestly tremendously impressive in lane. He did well, but not it didn't bowl me over. For one thing, he could have harassed Dendi more than I think he did. But after lane, Na'Vi, they honestly gave Scandal opportunities. And maybe that's how they feel. They're like, Scandal didn't win this game, we sort of gave it to him. So this time we'll just focus more on that. And they've got a great start with the Troll Warlord, which was banned the last game.
Yeah, I have to say, this is already a very different kind of, emotion that I get from Na'Vi's heroes right now than the previous one. Previous ones, of course, all needed some time and just fairly passive for a while, but these are just shouting like, I'm gonna eat you up. I mean, look at their faces alone.
Sure.
It's just
their faces alone. Yeah. I agree. The other thing Na'Vi have done this game is they've already avoided the trap they had the last game, which is no damage if they don't, they now have 2 cores, both of whom can deliver quite a bit of auto attack, and Troll with that huge attack speed bonus that he gives to everybody just really ramps your damage up, especially if they add a third auto attacking hero. They are on Dire, so they can't do Phonic Mirana. I mean, they could, but it's less effective. But we'll have to see if they add somebody else on who can also auto attack for the Troll. It's not necessary, but it would be nice.
Yeah, I have to like Na'Vi's lineup already. We do see that Empire, after these 2 pickups, are taking a lot of their time to think about what they're going to pick up next. I mean, there's still that Weaver in, but when you see these 2 pickups, you know that you need to be having some form of early game aggression, and it's not going to be in the way of having a core hero, but it's going to be a very strong support. Visage, hero that we see banned out quite a lot, but is now picked up by Empire. I think they're going to be very happy with that one. Nyx Assassin, Crystal Maiden, both heroes that would work well with that, and perhaps again we're going to see Empire try to go for an aggressive lineup.
Yeah, I mean, the Visage I think is a good pickup. The last game it actually went through the whole way, I think, just because it didn't really fit the strategy that either team was trying to follow. But yeah, I don't know. I like the Visage. I do think that it positions themselves to sort of have to run against Na'Vi's lanes, which can be risky. I think they benefited from the sort of odd passive lane setup in the first game, but here they just try to go right up in their face. They'll have to fill this out with 2 really strong additions. The fact that the Bane is gone is kind of a pain.
Yeah. I do like that they have, they're countering Puppy so heavily here. Banning out Chen, now Enchantress. Wouldn't be surprised to see Crystal Maiden either banned or picked up if Empire has a chance still. Of course, we saw Enigma previous game. At this point, I find Enigma way bigger of a threat than it was previous game, purely because of the Troll. Because if you have a successful black hole, there is going to be damage. Those whirling axes, of course, hit everybody in the black hole, and on top of that, you give everybody extra attack speed, even if it's single target for people while in the black hole. They actually ban out Phoenix Darkseer instead. Maybe to not have, because there were a lot of vacuum impales, vacuum black holes kind of things going on.
Oh yeah.
Perhaps they want to just make sure that that's not going to be the case anymore.
Phonic is a fantastic Darkseer, and I'm still very interested to see how Na'Vi ends up filling out these lanes. If Na'Vi grabs something like a Rubik, for instance, and another good tri-lane support, I wouldn't mind seeing, depending on how the draft pans out, I wouldn't mind seeing them run an aggressive try with Lifestealer and maybe a Clinks, maybe?
It's been a while since we've seen Phonic Lynx. But
they never give it to him because it doesn't really fit with what they try to do, but I always want to see it.
Yeah.
It's so good.
Wonder if it's still as good as it was before, but yeah, I wouldn't mind seeing that. I like dual course, just Troll mid, Lifestealer aggressive trial, it could definitely work out for them. Especially, Troll versus Elder Titan, if those 2 are going to be mid, that's going to be a decent lane for Troll as well. It will be fine.
It's an okay lane for Troll.
Yeah.
It's not great, it's not terrible.
Yeah.
It's very hard for him to win that lane, but he should maintain creep parity, I think. It becomes a matter of who rotates their supports in. Troll is more vulnerable to a rotation than Elder Titan is.
Yeah, definitely true. We are going to see the Doom band out. Na'Vi, they faced Mag's Doom previous game. Don't want to see it again. They want to see something different coming off from Empire. And it's this time Na'Vi that takes a lot of their time to think about what they're going to pick up next. They, of course, still had all their bonus time, while Empire only had the small portion of it left.
Weaver didn't get banned, so if they feel okay with what's going on Weaver again, they could put Phonic on the Lifestealer. Weaver is fantastic. You get a Desolator on that Weaver. And keep in mind, there's no Doom this time. They banned out Doom. So Weaver is a much safer pick now, and you can split push a lot, and you won't feel like you have to get BKB and Lincolns just to stay alive.
Yeah, they're taking a long time to think about that, though, because it seems like a fairly logical decision, not only to pick up the Weaver, but also to make sure that Empire cannot pick it up, because, well, I kind of think that Empire still has a big chance of doing that. It's not really Silent's typical hero, but it's definitely a strong one, and perhaps also one that can go on a safe lane solo while having another different aggressive tri-lane. What?
Which hero are you talking about for Silent?
Weaver.
Oh, yeah, no, he loves that hero. That's like the only thing he played on Quantic was that and Gyro, right?
True.
Because they were always giving him the Treant Protector, which, by the way, Empire likes too, and neither it nor Abaddon have actually been banned. It's going to be Phonic Bounty Hunter. So this is Na'Vi really declaring an aggressive intent. This is far more aggressive than the approach of going for the Weaver or even the Clinks would have been. This is, yeah, we'll go out and kill you constantly. And that's an interesting choice that Empire now has to face.
Yeah, I like it. A lot more aggressive than we saw in the previous game, indeed. However, it does give Empire the option to run an aggressive trend up against that bounty. If they can successfully kill him off a couple of times, of course, shutting down that level 6, then they're going to be in good shape, but that's kind of needed. Yeah. Either they have to get a lot from their lanes and be ready when Bounty hits level 6, be ready for the aggression, because not just Bounty, but of course Lifestealer can infest inside Bounty Hunter, and they will have the Battle Trance as well, and it will be very scary. But if they, either they have to get a lot from the lanes in terms of farm and just play very safe, or they have to be successfully aggressive. And one of the things that we saw in the previous game was when they were in doubt if they could be as aggressive as they wanted, they shifted to the safe lanes.
Right. Here we go, Rubik for Empire. This is, so I actually really like this Rubik pick. If they can get quick level 6 for Always Wanna or for Venscore on this Rubik, it could actually be a tremendously useful pickup for them just to steal track. Because now if they add a Weaver on, for instance, Weaver's pretty good against this team. Like, he can get away from almost anything. He can time-lapse to remove track off of himself. He can kite Lifestealer. In fact, Weaver's strong against Lifestealer in general. I think it's probably the right pick here for Empire, and it's a pretty strong tri-lane.
Yeah, imagine.
Actually, yeah, why not just do Weaver and then run the tri-lane against the Keeper of the Light tri-lane? Keeper of the Light can get just trashed by Visage.
Well, they first go for Mag's Nature's Prophet, one of his signature heroes, actually, so that's going to be good. It is going to be a hero that has to be very careful because, of course, Nature's Prophet, normally a bit of a loner. I mean, he split pushes, he goes into the jungle, and that's something that Bounty Hunter loves. When there's someone by himself, Bounty Hunter will sneak in with a Lifestealer infested, and Nature's Prophet is going to go down. And the track, of course, making sure that you can see people while they're still on the Sprout and try to TP out. You can shuriken to interrupt it, and by the time that you're almost out, there's already going to be the trees down and you're still going to die. They picked a Nature's Prophet into a lineup that already has a counter towards Nature's Prophet, because not only can they kill him, they can also kill his treants with the Illuminate, of course.
Interesting anti-mage ban. So that anti-mage ban is a reaction to the Storm Spirit pick, because anti-mage is not really a hero that fits into what Empire usually does. Furthermore, he's not a hero that Silent has a particular affinity for, but I think they just feel that with the Nature's Prophet, I mean, Na'Vi looked at their lineup and saw that Keeper of the Light is absolutely the only form of anti-push that they have, and they were like, okay, we're gonna just take out that anti-mage just in case. But this does leave a lot of options open for Empire. If they really hate the idea of the Weaver, Gyrocopter is available and is also quite good here.
I think that instead of Storm Spirit, you meant the Nature's Prophet, right?
I said Storm Spirit?
Yes. I was kind of confused. I was thinking maybe he has a point with this, but then I was like, nope, you just said it wrong. But yes,
I meant Nature's Prophet.
Yeah, okay. Then I got it right. Vengeful Spirit, I love this support. Also very aggressive support.
Although they do have room for the the hard carry Eternal Envy Storm Spirit.
Yeah.
I'm joking.
Yeah, I was hoping that you were, because that has proven not to be as successful as you might think it would be.
10 seconds.
Weaver. Are we gonna see him, or are we gonna see something entirely different here?
It's gonna be either Weaver or Gyro. I don't think they should outsmart themselves here.
No,
Okay,
right?
Spectre, fine. So this time it's interesting. Empire are clearly trying to defy expectations in some respect. So they've picked two lineups that in both cases go a little later than Navi's. So I think Navi were very prepped for either a Weaver or a Gyro pick, and so that's maybe why I feel that Empire felt, let's defy this by picking up Spectre. Spectre's an interesting case. She's very strong. She has good potential. She's quite strong in like public matchmaking. Like she has a pretty amazing win rate for a hard carry, but she just hasn't really found her full footing in competitive, and that's mostly because she's just quite weak in the early laning.
Yeah, and it's not really silence type hero.
Yeah, so it kind of is actually, depending on how he builds her. If he rushes phase drums, I actually think they have a pretty competent, like, Nature's Prophet ultimate and Nature's Prophet TPs on somebody that is either Spectral Daggered or you use the Spectre ultimate on them. That's the kind of thing he wants to do, right?
True.
But I do think that this can backfire really heavily, because if Bounty Hunter just hits a good level 6, you could just end up with Spectre chased all around the map and Navi just constantly killing everybody. So I don't know. It's a chancy pick.
Yeah, let's see who's playing what, so we can go also over who is playing where. It looks like we're gonna see from both teams a fairly standard lineup in terms of safe trial lanes. But it is a trial lane for Empire. They have Vanscore playing his Rubik. Always Wanna Fly on the Visage. Silent will take on the Spectre, as already discussed. In the mid lane, it will of course be Scandal once again on his unbeaten Elder Titan. And we have got Mag playing the Nature's Prophet. He is gonna start out on the lane, and when he will try to rotate into the jungle, he's gonna find a surprise ward that Funnick already placed there to block the hard camp. But he'll try to see what he can do first. If he can maybe annoy some supports here. But look at these Treants, they're dropping like flies.
They are. Yeah, it's Mag not having the easiest time, honestly. I think he doesn't have to like leave or anything, but yeah, he won't be able to get that block the way he wanted. Actually, he still blocks it. So, or will he? Yeah, he got it. Nice.
Yeah. Do you want to introduce Navi?
Oh yeah, sure, I'd be happy to. So Navi finding themselves down 1-0 in the beginning of the StarLadder LAN finals. If they lose, they are not out. They just go to the losers bracket play tomorrow. But Quost, top lane, he'll be playing Lifestealer. He's supported by Kuroki on the Vengeful Spirit and Puppy on the Keeper of the Light. Then in the middle we'll have Dendi on Control Warlord facing up against Scandal's Elder Titan. We'll see if he does better than he managed to do on the Batrider. And in the bottom lane, solo will be Funnick on Bounty Hunter.
Yeah, I have to say, this middle lane already shows quite some aggression from both sides. Interesting, interesting developments. I kind of am curious to see if there's going to be a kill here, because I find this a very even lane in terms of heroes. Maybe slightly in favor of Elder Titan, but I'm actually...
Slightly in favor of Titan.
Yeah, but I'm actually thinking that each of the other one, like, they can kill each other off. Like, it's one of those lanes that is so even that it's... Even though it's only slightly in favor of Scandal, the moment that someone gets ahead, he's going to be able to get a kill. So I'm hoping that we're going to see some aggression coming off from that side, as we do finally have Mag getting a successful pull-off, and therefore getting some experience here as well. There was still a creep wave there, but at least he gets the levels. That's the reason why he's there for, so that's all good.
It is, yeah, just to disrupt a little bit and get the levels.
The bash.
Funnick.
Scandal, can he actually do this? In comes a Whirling Axis, the mischance Scandal! One more hit needed, and Bottle Charge will keep him alive, and Dendi does not get the kill, but that is just how close this lane is.
He's gonna get killed by Illuminate. Oh, maybe not.
Double damage Puppy. I'm thinking if he was just walking around, he could have done more damage with just hitting him. He no longer has regen, by the way.
Yep, he is completely out of regen. That dive didn't favor him. I mean, he thought that maybe the mischances would work out more in his favor than they actually did. And yeah, that's a tough loss for Scandal in this mid lane. I now think he has next to no advantage, and it'll just be fine for both of them to freely farm. Mag's getting levels, so I think he's doing pretty well. We could see Kuroki actually make a rotation eventually. The main reason he's just staying here is to constantly threaten the magic missile onto the Nature's Prophet, which would kill him pretty much.
Yeah, well, until Avosa's got some levels, the moment that he has enough, the moment he's level 5 perhaps or something like that, KuroKy could try to rotate and could make things happen as Nature's Prophet just teleports back to base. Get himself some more health. He's going for a Hand of Midas, of course, sacrificing some of his farm and experience on the top lane to try and remove some farm from the supports of Na'Vi. And later on he'll catch up with the Hand of Midas. And he's actually rotating into the jungle by the looks of it. So he's going to find out that there is indeed a ward already standing there. As in the meantime, Phonic is actually getting some levels as well. He's level 2. Sentry ward was placed, but they weren't able to get kill going.
I feel very nervous for Empire right now. I mean, it's still very, very early in the game, but I just feel like the shape of this game isn't quite... something not quite right here. Like, the fact that Scandal dove, he's paid so deeply for that dive because it cost him so much mana and health that he's having to constantly bottle crow, and he's a little bit behind the ball in terms of having mana. So you can see that Dendi is racking up more and more denies in this lane, and Scandal isn't getting any. So he's falling behind on XP a little bit. And the tri-lane, they're not really keeping Phonic off the lane that much. He is only 2.5, but he's continuing to level. I mean, as long as Mag gets good jungling, which there's one camp blocked, but maybe he can just jungle the rest. I don't know. I feel like there's going to be a lot riding on Spectre having an okay game. He is going for that phase.
Yeah, it does fit his playstyle a lot more than anything else. Phonic rotates middle. He has got level 2, but... well, perhaps he can help get first blood around. He has to be careful, though, because there's going to be a lot of people around there waiting to do something. And look at that tower harassment! And the Spirit Phonic having to back off with losing more than half his life points.
And meanwhile, Always Wanna Fly is just soaking a little bit of Mag's XP, so it will hold Nature's Prophet back a little, but that's okay because the main thing Nature's Prophet wants right now is gold to hit as fast of a Midas as possible. It's actually alright if the Visage soaks a little bit of the XP, because the Nature's Prophet is going to make it back once he has the Midas.
Yeah, and Scandal might be in some trouble again. In comes the Whirling Axe. Scandal's trying to run forward. Does he have some support? Yes, he does. Hello, Vanscore. Telekinesis. Phonic gets some harassment. Spirit comes out as well. But at least it's gonna... oh, at least it's gonna make Phonic go back to the lane. He doesn't kill anybody, though. Just yet. I have to say, I like Phonic's word placement. It's very tough to find all those observers. And we already see that the sentries that Empire brought to the lane were both used to try and counter ward, one to try and allow Phonic to get harassed away from the lane, and therefore for the entire duration of an observer ward, and this doesn't really happen all that much in competitive play anymore. For the entire duration, there has been 2 camps blocked.
Yes. Very effective wards in the end for Phonic in terms of both blocking Nature's Prophet's ability to ramp up his jungle by starting here, and then, of course, the blocked pole camp. So, I mean, if you look at the XP, it absolutely reflects that. Na'Vi is comfortably getting levels on their supports faster. Yeah. Level 5 Keeper of the Light compared to level 2 Rubik.
Yeah, I mean, Puppy has been juggling a bit as well. He's been stacking, and he has been just illuminating those camps to make sure that he got that extra experience. Not taking that much away from KuroKy, who's level 4. Not taking anything away from Avos, who's level 6, and is able to lay down some harassment on this tier 1 tower here.
Right.
And we have a smoke up. Always Want to Fly in Vanscore, looking for some action.
Yeah. Frost's Midas is an interesting choice. It's mainly so that he can just erase the Spectre, at least in the short to medium term. If he's much bigger than Spectre around like 20 minutes, the idea is that Spectre never gets to that 35-40 minute mark where she's really intimidating.
Oh, this is just so scary. Nah, he's gonna go for it. He cannot do it. You cannot, like, if he just wrapped around and went from the side, that would be so much better. But you can't go for a gank if you walk from the front. That's not a gank anymore. That's just, you know, walking up to someone and saying hi.
And Rubik only has 290 move speed, whereas Dendi in Berserker's Rage with the boots has 370. So I'm honestly not sure about the decision. It might work during day, maybe, but I don't know. They end up just wasting that smoke, and now they're falling further and further behind on XP of the supports. This is actually a really, really big deal, because Empire has this period in which the supports are basically the only thing that's going to keep the Spectre up. So as soon as Phonic hits 6 and Na'Vi start rotating, these high-level supports of Na'Vi are just going to crush.
Yeah, and Phonic is comfortably level 4.5, so he's doing just fine. So far, no first blood on the board just yet. And we do have Puppy looking to go for a bit of rotation, wants to continue having those wards up, because he knows that he should make sure that there's not going to be a successful gank. And of course the most obvious gank target is Dendi. So the ward's just keeping him safe at the moment and making sure that there's not going to be anything happening to Dandy right now. And I think even if there is, we're going to see some TPs coming in. We have the TP already up for Kuro. We have the TP up for the Keeper of the Light. We actually have the Keeper of Light sitting at level 6. In terms of supports, that's a very high level. I mean, it's even higher level than Mag is right now. Mag is sitting at level 5. He has got his Hand of Midas ready though, or at least the gold for it.
Right, and I mean he'll certainly, well, not, he's almost there, so he'll make that as soon as possible, obviously. Meanwhile, Navi is just going to take the tier 1. This gives Faust even more free farming space with this Midas. He can just constantly chain use it on CD and get to be a quite intimidating lifestealer. You can walk around inside Bounty Hunter, and sure, Bounty Hunter has nothing, but if he's carrying a lifestealer who's double the net worth of him, that's suddenly becomes a very intimidating gank.
Yeah, I agree. Vanscore just has to try and find some extra levels here. They really need to get all of, well, most after the jungle as they can, but they're not really able to. Like, both of us want to fly and the Rubik. Fidget and Rubik are not really heroes that can jungle too well by themselves, like, for example, a Keeper of the Light can.
Right. It's much harder, and especially because there was so little of the jungle for them to farm, because once Nature's Prophet rotated, when you subtract the 2 camps, like the fact that Funnick took out 2 camps with his 2 big camps with his wards really cost them, and so everybody's behind. But especially Nature's Prophet, like he's going to activate his first Midas at 9.5 minutes. It's very behind relative to where Mag would want to be.
Yeah, we do have Spectre sitting on 2,300 gold though, and this is kind of worrying for me at least. You know, I was expecting him to go for phase and drums too after seeing the phase.
You think Radiance now?
I'm actually considering it, because why is he not spending his gold otherwise? As we do have...
Oh, well...
oh, no, Funnick is gonna be fine.
There's just... he can hold it until he sees how sort of the game is going and just make a decision there. I wouldn't mind him just picking up a drums right now, but yeah, it looks like he might just go straight for that Radiance. If he gets it early enough, it's not like it's bad.
True.
It gives them even more global presence with Nature's Prophet. The issue is that Nature's Prophet is nowhere where he needs to be, but with some levels, just use that Nature's Prophet ultimate and Spectre ultimate. You can do all sorts of really kooky, annoying stuff. Like, you can just stop a split push in its tracks completely.
Yeah. And of course, that has some great synergy as well, because you just get every hero on the map hit by that Nature's Prophet ult, or at least it should be. They definitely have some gimmicky stuff that they can try and use. So far, though, we are past 10 minutes into this game, and we are still sitting at a 0-0 score. And I would almost say that slightly favors Empire at the moment. And actually, they're gonna try to get Kuroki. He's so low. That's your first blood right there. Haunt in, Silent takes it. That was just Scandal harassing with his spirit. That's all.
Yeah. The thing is that Elder Titan's harassment is so long distance and so safe and yet still potent. It really is ridiculous. Like, it's Keeper the Illuminate, except you can move it wherever the hell you want.
That's true.
Like, it's really, this hero is so stupid, but enough about Elder Titan. Like, yeah, it just gives Spectre the opportunity to basically pick up a free kill. Now, he lost a lot of farm time for that, but he's just going to head right back to the bottom and resume what, at this point, really does look a lot like Radiance.
Yeah, I guess a track up on him, sitting on 3,300 gold. I mean, he just got a kill. He got the first blood of all kills that you can get. So, he is doing really well on the gold. However, he is still behind Havos in terms of net worth. But we can't really look too close to net worth at this moment, because most of the net worth that Havos has is sitting in the Hand of Midas. And even though it's great that you get that attack speed, of course, from the Gloves of Haste, the gold that you, like... It's worth less than the gold you spend for it until later on in the game, as Vanscore might be in some trouble. Picked up right now. Funnick gets himself out, and Vanscore. I actually think he's quite lucky in this case. Of course, there was going to be some support. I mean, even Scandal teleported in. That was maybe a bit trigger happy on the teleport scroll.
I do have to say that I really like Silent's mechanics this game. Like, even with the fact that he missed like 3 creep waves by going for that kill, he's 82 for 47, and let's talk about that 47 for a second. He's denied a lot of XP in this lane. Funnick hasn't always been here, but certainly he's been here for part of it, and so Silent really has mopped up like a tremendous portion of the creeps in this lane. So I only bring this up because a lot of times he does actually have not the greatest early mechanics on his heroes, so the fact that he is doing as well as he needs to be on Spectre is a big deal. Like, you only pick Spectre when you're confident that the player you're putting it on can, you know, use the hero for all it's worth. And he has enough for Relic now. even as Navi's first big gank comes in.
Yeah, Funnick with an infested lifestealer inside of him. They want to try and go for silence. Can they actually pick him up? Because that would be a big deal. In comes a track. He tries to get away. That's going to be no more relic. The courier wasn't able to get there, and or at least not to get to the secret shop. Gets sent back home. That was... Ooh, I was going to fly. They haven't spotted him, and he is going to get out. Well, that's going to be your tier 1 tower dead. Big pickups.
What an absolutely... Yeah, that is a critical kill for Navi. They hold down that Radiance so much with that. Just making sure that... Not only does he not pick up the relic, he's now needs like another creep wave to get it. And he's down for the count for 36 seconds. That single-handedly pushed the relic back like a minute and a half, almost 2 minutes.
Yeah, and all of a sudden it is Dendy that's second highest on the net worth. And Dendy almost has his Shadow Blade ready, which is an interesting build for a troll. Normally you'd see them build just, you know, fast BKB and go them for some kind of lifesteal, and that's it. But Shadow Blade is, yeah, it's very legit, and it also, of course, spells even more aggression coming off from Na'Vi, and I think that we've just seen, of course, the first move, but it's far from the last.
Definitely. I mean, I like the fact that the Shadow Blade really shows Navi's commitment to playing very aggressively here, and having that also gives, you know, an alternate delivery vehicle for Lifestealer. Here we go, another Spectre ultimate. The attempt is to go on Puppy here, but I don't think he should commit. Yeah.
No, he doesn't. In the meantime, we do have Vanscore getting tracked up. Funnick, though, getting himself away in the end. Vanscore was kind of warned by that ult, of course. At some point, he got a Spectre illusion behind him, thinking, hey, where did that come from? But... Funnick not able to gank, and he is still going for the harassment. He is actually gonna get a kill under the nose of Silent. Now he comes Mag with the dust. They go for Funnick. They've got themselves as proud if they want to, but it's not needed. That's gonna be your kill. That's gonna be Silent with another kill added to his name, and his relic is sitting in his stash, so he's gonna be happy with that for sure.
Yeah, I actually do not know how worth it that bounty hunter kill. Sorry. That kill on Rubik was, because it exposed him to getting killed off, and it gave the Spectre a faster relic than he otherwise would have had. So, interesting choice, but Navi, Troll really lets you ramp your Rosh time extremely well. He's like StarLadder if StarLadder were a good hero. Like, he just really lets you get that Roshan quickly, and they really want to put this on Host, giving him Armlet, most of a Basher, and an Aegis. That's terrifying at this stage of the game.
Yeah, and on top of that, they've got Kuro with max out Wave of Terror. In comes constantly, though, the Spirit. And actually, well, can someone pick up the Aegis? Thank you. I was gonna say, that would be quite interesting if Empire only had someone with a Blink Dagger. Then they could have had it. But no, we have got Kuroki forced back because one more Spirit would almost put him below 0 health points, and that's not where you want to be. Scandal, level 11. So he's got his level 2 Earth Splitter. If he wants to pick it up, he actually does not want to pick that up. He does not pick that up. Or, no, he did not pick up.
It deals all of its damage at rank 1. It just increases the slow. So sometimes you don't want to take it if you really want Echo Stomp, for instance. In this case, he seems to want to level Echo because they don't have as good Disable. In fact, their AoE Disable consists of him. So I think the Echo Stomp is a smart choice here over Extra Rigs of Earth Splitter. The better stun is better than the better slow.
Yeah, it looks like Funnick was trying to gank up on Mag in the jungle. Wasn't able to do so and ended up paying for it with his life. It's a nice pickup for Empire. Again, no track kill going the way of Na'Vi. And one thing I also want to still point out is that Vanscore is still not level 6. Of course, once he has got level 6, it's all okay for him, because as long as he can at least steal something, then he is okay, because he will steal spells that are higher level than his own level, so that's fine. But he is actually, I mean, the fact that he's not yet level 6 is quite worrying, because...
It is.
Well, there's so many good things to steal, and you kind of need to
It's not just that. Yeah, he's also has 682 HP against a Lifestealer who is level 13, Armlet, and a full Basher, and Phase Boots. He can, like, two-shot that Rubik. It's pretty scary.
Yeah, and imagine a Wave of Terror helping that out. It's very scary indeed. They will... maybe see their tier 1 tower going down, by the way, on the Na'Vi side in the mid lane tower. In the meantime, on the bottom tower, only the tier 1 tower is dead already for Empire. They trade it, though. Favorable trade for Empire, I would say, in terms of towers, although Empire does use 4 of their heroes for it, while Na'Vi only had 2 sitting on that bottom lane.
I'm still really terrified, because, again, as long as Spectre is free farming, and now Silent has added Radiance, it's not hopeless, but I do think that the scoreline betrays the fact that there is an extremely scary period for Empire right now. This is hilarious, though. The Elder Titan can basically I mean, it's not global, but that almost seems like a technicality. He can harass people from very, very far distance with Astral Spirit, and once they take a couple of Spirit hits, Empire just pops the Nature's Prophet ultimate and grats on your support who is forced to go back to Fountain.
Yeah.
But you can see Kuro, he has to go to Fountain. He has no other choice, because otherwise he's going to feed to kill the Spectre.
Yeah.
So actually, this is going to keep
Scandal.
Navi off their back.
You're so dead. That was very nice play. Poppy with the last hit. Poppy realized he might be in danger and maybe tried to bait something out with Scandal. He recalls Funnick, who has an infested lifestealer inside of him, towards him, and down goes the Elder Titan. That was the first time this game that he dies.
Yeah, and only the third death in 2 games for this Elder Titan.
Yeah.
So, yeah, Scandal's playing pretty far up, and of course that was a very nice play. Yeah, Navi have a lot of combos up their sleeve as well. So, the main thing is just Hwost. He's ruling this game. You can see wherever Hwost is, you know, everybody's fears to tread. Like, nobody goes near this lifestealer.
Yeah, I mean, the net worth is insane. The difference between him and Silent is very insane. It's, well, 11k gold for the lifestealer, with 7.4k gold for Silent. In comes Funnick with the double damage rune, goes for a track first, looking for a Janata hit, finds it up on Silent as well. In comes the Hunt, and he actually hunts himself away, goes towards the top lane.
Check out this damage, though.
And that's gonna be Funnick still dying. That was Nature's Prophet ultimate coming through with the spirit still there. That's just
it's really Spectre. It's Desolate. Desolate is an immensely powerful ability early on when your players don't have high HP pools, because 65 but pure damage on an illusion. So it's hitting for you for as much as like a good leveled hero would be hitting you at no risk to Spectre. Yeah, they almost even got Venge, but will they get trapped here?
They might, they might. In comes Navi, Vanscore rages, but it's no match for Dendy. He's already dead. Comes Scandal with the stomp. Havosto has got the rage on. We'll get not stomped, but in the end they only get that Rubik, and we already mentioned how squishy Rubik would be if Navi ever found him, and they did find him. And I mean, then you can have a rage and all that stuff, but that's not going to help you against all the physical damage that comes out from Navi.
Yeah, I mean, they're very good mobility, and of course this is the main thing with the Keeper of the Light. This is why they picked this, not because of its capacity in lane, but all the different really, really useful things that his ult and his chakra are giving them. And in this case, that's 2 recalls that have really set up. Like, Empire, if the first game was a matter of Navi not really estimating the power of the Elder Titan, in this game, Empire the power of the Keeper of the Light. It's been very effective.
Yeah, we just saw maybe Funnick having a bit of a scare, but that's an Earth Splitter on cooldown. Does have quite a decent cooldown actually, so Elder Titan just wasting that one. I'm kind of sharing your sentiment of Empire might be slightly worried. The question is, what kind of gameplay should they go for here? Because running heads forward into Navi, it's not going to give them anything, because right now there's just... Where's he gonna get called towards? Ooh, top lane. They want to go for Silent. The track is already on. Lifestealer is there as well. In comes the Hunt. Want to go towards mid lane, and he gets it. And he is mid TP out for Kuroki because he realized that he might be in some trouble.
Really good. Good escape by Silent. And just again, check out the damage. Funnick is now at like 40% HP, and he's not even that safe anymore. He's done with drums, but I like how Empire are doing this keep away with the Spectre, and as long as Spectre is farming, this game is okay. If you're Empire, you're not unhappy until Spectre starts dropping repeatedly. So even though Lifestealer is still way ahead, and he's going to be way ahead for a long time, Spectre's up, we still have 4 outer towers. Life is not that bleak.
I have to say though, with Avos picking up an Abyssal, that's going to be giving Spectre way less chance to get himself out of harm's way.
That's definitely true, but they have to find him first. Like, that time, Abyssal would not have helped that last gank, because Ghost never got a single hit in.
True. They have to get in safer, and they maybe have to get in without getting recalled, just getting in and ganking by themselves. Just initiate with that. As Empire lose their tier 1 tower, they do take a tier 1 tower in return on the top lane. That's gonna be all tier 1 towers this game. Dead. Ooh, can they find
Puppy
him?
recall.
Yeah, Spectre already dead. And the recall. Well, got himself Funnick. Vanscore will rage and TP out. That was an Abyssal Blade showing right there. Havos was able to get in range of Spectre, Abyssal him, open wounds, rage, kill him off. Done deal.
Yeah, Ghost he's not frequently acknowledged for just how good of a farming carry he is, because Navi don't usually play him in a role where he constantly farms. But you can just see Rost's insanely good farming capacity here. He has 206 last hits, Shiver, in 22 minutes. And just, he has what, 700 GPM? 650 GPM, and he has only participated in 3 kills. Yeah.
Yeah, that's going to be always going to fly down as well.
Rost is big.
And Empire is looking small. I mean, they're 7,500 gold behind compared to Na'Vi. Their experience graph is a bit more troublesome though, because they're sitting on 10k experience behind, and we know that most of the gold difference is actually sitting in that lifestealer. No surprise there, as we do have Mag. Maybe some trouble. The sprite goes up. The Haunt goes in. Funnick in a lot of trouble right here. One more hit needed. Silent will get the kill. Or actually, Nature's Prophet, Nature's Wrath picks it up. Puppy will go down as well. There's going to be another kill. 2 kills here on the top lane, but I mean, in terms of levels, you already pointed it out a while ago, but nothing really much has changed. Rubik is level 8 since last we checked him. Visage is level 7, and Lifestealer is level 17. That is scary things, and even not even that,
18.
but Na'Vi, their lowest level is their off-lane Bounty Hunter, who's level 10, but even Kuroki is level 11. Those are some big differences for levels, especially for those supports. They're just food right now for Na'Vi.
Yeah, it certainly is, and you can see Empire as a consequence are really just sticking together as much as possible, because they know, I mean, they know that anybody left alone is going to be made mincemeat out of by that Lifestealer, so it's going to take a while. At this point, Empire, they simply, I think, cannot just go face first into this Quost. They have to go for later. They have to make sure that Spectre gets several more items. Yasha, sure. Mantis Style, sure. This is all well and good. He's probably going to need even more. There will be eventually, hopefully, a tipping point at which Spectre can overwhelm Lifestealer, but it's going to take a long time. Like, keep in mind, Heart is not as good against Lifestealer against any other hero. Oh no, Dendy's just going to solo him.
Yep, that's going to be another kill. 7 to 6. The differences are not that big, but it's scary. It is for sure. Mag does not really have the items yet to really go full on split push. He has got the Shadow Blade, of course, but you kind of need a Scythe of Vice if you want to actually try that. And I mean, he's level 14 up against level 16 and level 18. He's just not going to be comfortable being by himself at all. And it's very tricky for Empire to now hold their ground, but that's what they need to do. They need to make sure that Na'Vi does not feel confident enough to go high ground.
Yeah. I mean, they did kill Navi's courier. Let's see if it was carrying just a bottle, so nothing that important. It is some extra gold for Empire. But yeah, I'm very concerned. I just feel that I like the lineup in some ways. I think the ultimate combo that just immediately harasses people down is really cute, but certainly Navi have done much better playing around the Elder Titan this game, right? Like, he's 0-1 and 2. Yeah. He's barely contributed.
Yeah, he's been a non-factor, and he's not been able to set up for anything at all, and it might be looking at his first loss on an Elder Titan.
Yeah, it's true. This would be his first loss. It's not over yet. Again, as long as Spectre is farming, even though they're substantially behind, the game is not necessarily lost. I do want to add that both Spectre and Nature's Prophet need to be farming, as Navi adds probably another Aegis onto, I assume, Quost. No, I actually put it on Dendy. Okay, that's fine, because Quost is so big, he's not likely to die anyway. He now has full Assault Cross to add on to Abyssal Armlet Phase at 26 minutes.
Yeah, that's just so insane.
LOL?
And I mean,
yeah.
Dendy has been trying to keep up in terms of farm. He's still 6k behind, but he's also got himself a BKB, a 10-second BKB even, so he is pretty farmed as well, sitting on 3,100 gold as well. And there's just no equivalent for that up on Empire, apart from perhaps a Vost, but he doesn't have enough. In a 5-on-5 fight, Navi is just gonna have too much damage, and Empire, the only thing they can then hope for, gets off an Echo Stomp. However, there's gonna be a Raging and a BK being hero, so it's not gonna be doing as much as he probably would have hoped for, and Empire is gonna be on the back foot.
Unquestionably on the back foot.
Yeah.
They need to add so much more. So Mag, who had a slow start, I mean, he's 3-0 and 3, so he did play very well on the defensive. But they're just getting pushed onto their tier 3, and it's just gonna not be hard for Navi to take this Rax at all.
Yeah. Nice swap from Kuro. Swaps in the Rubik. Rubik dies. Rubik buys back. Nice haunt. Going for the Nature's Wrath as well. In comes a crack. Won't hit anybody, but Dandy getting locked in.
Good
His
sprout.
age is gone. And they take down a Vos as well. Nice stun coming off. In comes another stomp. No, that actually hits on two. Both Funnick and Kuroki on the high ground. They take down Dandy first. They want to go for another one. Oh my god, that Illuminate onto the Shadow Bladed Elder Titan. Well, that's going to be getting a kill right there. Down goes the Vengeful Spirit. Silent able to pick him up. Oh, hello,
And
Sonic
yeah,
Wave.
that was a terrible fight for Navi. They really messed up their retreat and positioning. It seemed like half of them wanted to commit and half of them didn't. Hrost got immediately taken down. And by the way, really cool pickup for Scandal, this Ghost Scepter. Even though he's like a mid-Elder Titan, the Ghost Scepter is so smart to just prevent getting immediately chunked and killed by Lifestealer. Wow, Navi lose the Aegis, they lose Troll and the 3 other heroes, and they buy back Hrost.
Yeah.
With nothing to show for it, a tier 3.
It's impressive. Now, one thing, of course, that when Navi is in position to push again with that battle trance, they will be able to pick up those racks real fast. So Empire has to make sure that the fights that they do take are either on the top or middle lane, or outside of the base on the bottom lane.
How good is Mag, by the way? That Sprout on Dendi?
Oh, that was a lifesaver.
Immaculate.
A lifesaver and a life killer, I guess, if you're Dendi. But that's impressive, and I mean, he did get to use his BKB once. He had his Aegis, of course, but he got picked off straight away afterwards again because of that stomp from Scandal, who was able to catch 2. So Navi was in no position to try and defend, and they couldn't get away either. So they just got saved to make sure they can still pick off 2 on the backside. It was impressive play from Empire. Very big control, even after Vanscore got picked up so fast. Instant buyback, not losing their cool, and they're gonna try to go for it again. This time the crack will hit upon 3. Kuroki will be the first target, will get picked off with a couple more hits. He'll actually, he'll go down to Familiar Stroll. Already gets always wanna fly though. In comes an Illuminate as well. Vanscore saving Mac with the swap, but Mac tracked up, killed off, triple kill for Dendi, gems on the floor, and all of a sudden, all the work that Empire just did in the previous fight, obliterated. That's gonna be Navi definitely winning their fight.
Barely, but they do it. I mean, that's the level advantage, that's the farm advantage speaking there. Even though the Earth Splitter was very good, Empire just didn't have enough gas, and when the Visage and Rubik can't stay away from the fight when they're right in the midst of it, they die way too quickly to... Even the Nature's Prophet, he just got dropped.
He didn't even get to use his Scythe, I believe. We do have a buyback for Max, so he can split push on the bottom lane, maybe take down a tier 2. But it's a good fight for Navi, and it shows that they're definitely not rolling over anytime soon. They're still ahead of this game. They're 15k gold ahead. They are 13k experience ahead, though we do see, of course, a bit of a... Well, experience graph shows it pretty clear, actually, because, of course, Empire on the fight on the bottom lane, they got a lot of kills on very high-level targets, so instantly Empire gets themselves 5k experience back. But the gold graph barely shows a up, it only shows a bit of a static. Actually, we see Mac getting picked off, Dendi using his BKB for that to not get hexed, and very clean and simple kill in the end if you count the BKB with that.
This is the huge difference between last game's lineup of Navi. Navi, this time, can kill you almost instantaneously. Now that Dendi has the Deadless and can give himself the Battle Trance 180 attack speed, he can blow up the Nature's Prophet trivial easily and just get recalled back to a fight immediately afterwards. Now, Vanscore probably dies.
Yep, a track kill.
In one shot.
I mean, we haven't even been talking about the track kills, but most of those kills were track kills just now in the mid lane.
The last several fights.
And it shows, it's pretty scary right now. Empire, they really need to have... Well, I'm not even sure if a good control is going to be enough. They do have the Haunt up again. In comes the Stomp, only hits upon Creepso, and that's a tier 3 tower already down. Stone Assumption, swap, Scandal, pops his Ghost Scepter, will help him for a while, but look at that magic damage that Navi has as well, as you already pointed out. Great mix of damage. Scandal, force back to base. That's going to be your range Rex. Yeah, there we go. That melee creep will do the job, and they rotate bottom, because why not? There's no fortification. In comes the open wounds, always want to fly. Bashed up, killed off. Stomp comes out, Silence comes in, Silence abyssal, Silence killed off a Vost. Triple kill. Nice air splitter comes out still, but it doesn't matter one bit. Or does it? Avos, he gets hexed up and killed off. Down also goes Kuro, and that is going to be Na'Vi backed away from Empire's base. However, they did still take 3 Rexes.
Yes, Empire managed to avoid the GG, but that's it. That's all they managed to avoid. And, I mean, that's a great fight for Na'Vi, even if they do lose Hvost at the end of it. This game is all about this Lifestealer. The fact that it was not handled, he went the Midas, and they just used they found the perfect timing. As soon as the Midas started paying off and he had that armlet, he was building towards that Basher, they knew that Spectre couldn't possibly be anywhere near that potency. The other thing is, I almost feel Empire... So, for instance, Echo Stomp doesn't even matter this game, right? Because the Radiance is just going to almost instantaneously interrupt it. So this is a little bit of anti-synergy that's built into the Empire approach. And even though Mag has done well, he can't present a credible split push threat because it's just too easy for them to explode him with either Troll Warlord or Lifestealer inside a Troll Warlord, or Lifestealer inside a Bounty Hunter, or even just... All they need is Keeper of the Light to be in the same lane as Nature's Prophet, for the Nature's Prophet to die.
Well,
the keeper
look at where he is. Puppy, he's gonna recall some company, and they might be trying to take down Mr. Silent. Oh, Silent already TP's back. They can't find anybody anymore. Oh, I really thought that was a nice gank, wraparound gank. Puppy was sitting on that bottom lane ever since that fight ended, and just waiting for people to get back alive, but, well, Empire was careful enough not to go bottom lane, so in the end, Na'Vi doesn't get anything with it. We are gonna see them trying again, though. I mean, they don't have an Aegis or anything like that anymore. Actually, how long for Roshan? Not that long.
About 3 minutes?
Yeah.
2.5.
2.5 minutes. They might actually wait for it, unless Empire, of course, gets out of position and they can swap someone in. Then I think they wouldn't hesitate one bit, but... Yeah, actually, they're going up already. We already have Funnick laying down some tracks, making sure there's some vision for Kuroki to swap people with.
Yeah, they want to finish it, and they can. They're so far ahead.
And if they wait longer, there will be also the fortification again, so don't want to be dealing with that one.
Yeah. So, Empire, they're still trying to defend. I think this is admirable. There's no reason to just GG out. You want to... I mean, who knows? Maybe you can win a fight, but it's not going to be easy. They have to land more or less a perfect Earth Splitter. They have to bring down Kvost and Dendi as quickly as they did in that previous fight. And 2 fights ago. Yeah,
and that's going to be the melee Rex bottom picked up as well. Just... in the duration of one race, in comes a stomp, doesn't hit anybody, and now Na'Vi knows that they can go in. Tracks left and right. That's gonna be a swap. Van score already picked off, or is he? Yes, he is. In comes the Earth Splitter, doesn't really seem to do that much though, apart from slowing people down. Kuroki with a BKB now as well. Spectre gets picked up, down goes the Elder Titan, and it looks like Empire, they are no longer in this mag, getting picked off here. He does poop up his, yeah. His Ghost Scepter doesn't really matter.
Once Na'Vi started layering on the kills, the Bounty Hunter was just going to give them the game, basically, right? So, like, actually that Venge BKB was a huge deal that fight, because it meant Spectre can no longer just 3-shot him. In fact, Spectre's illusions just will barely tickle the Venge after, you know, insta-killing the Venge earlier in the game. So, very well played by Na'Vi. I do feel Empire drafted into it a little bit. They definitely, by the time they picked the Spectre, they knew what was up, and they felt that they could handle it. It's not so easy to handle Hvost's Lifestealer. It's just not.
I think
817 GPM.
Na'Vi, with their first 2 picks, they already showed so much of their aggression, and I don't think that Empire was ready for it, and they only saw one way out. Go for that hard carry late game Spectre, rather. But let's see what they do in the third game, because now both teams will have learned from one another, and we're going to have the final game of the evening. The third game of the best out of 3, Na'Vi versus Empire, StarLadder LAN Finals will be right back here with Game 3, so stick around.